Welcome back, everybody, to the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series. It's Season 8, the finale of Season 8 here at Anti-Stall Racing the finale for Season 9, Round 8, at the Autodromo Internacional de Algarve, something like that, I believe, but we all know it much better as Portimao, and we're out already in qualifying in GT3. Right, getting ready to go green here. We put the standings on the screen, but we're going to go to Class Set 1 because I think we can fit them all on the screen like this, and we need to keep a very, very close eye on that championship fight, and Brodie Maynard runs P3, so it just makes a lot of sense to have them all on the board at the moment. Remember, Brodie very, very close now with Leon Benello in the title, but starts a long way up the grid compared to him, and Eloy Caballero waits for the start zone to get this race underway, and he's gone. We're green here at Portimao for the final of the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series, and Albert Priem has been black flagged. Not sure what that's for. There's another incident under investigation, that's Caballero, so I'm not sure what Eloy is under investigation for. That could be a starting infringement. Yeah, GTP start is under review.
Can you please check my black flag?
P. Preen's asking for the black flag to be checked. GT3 still not out at the final corner. Felipe Sebastian, Carlos Pons and Sanchez Cachafiero have all come together. Brodie Maynard has dropped down the order with a slightly patient start from the Englishman. And we're side by side in the braking zone behind Daniel Renek, now behind Carlos Ponce. There's more contact in the back. That's Leon Manella, he's losing ground as well. And I believe we're getting ready to go green in GT3. There's lots of people getting black flagged in GTP, so we'll keep an eye on that and see what that's for. Vincenzo Soroche then has gone in this reduced size GT3 field down into turn 1. He's going to be easily in the lead. It's side by side behind. That's Jeffrey Ross and Fabio Gibrino going at it. The Acura on the inside, trying to make some ground up on the very strong Mustangs here today. It's going to be the time to make an impact if he can. Inside becomes outside though. He's able to carry the speed. Can he get in the toe of the pink DLR Mustang to try and get ahead? But the Mustang on the inside, that orange DLR Mustang, so strong on the brakes and pulls back ahead. Albert Priem looking for a strong defense here down the straight because he's going to get railroaded here. Daniel Renek is on the outside, tucked back up behind him is Max Meyer, who didn't qualify in this race and is trying to go from last to first, and he's going to swoop around the outside of Albert Priem. It's 2 for the price of 1 for Max Meyer, the championship winner.
The rest of the field would have been slowed down by...
Max Meyer goes around the outside of Ruben Schegerman. Sorry for the interruption there. The driver who started on the back row of the grid has made up 11 places, is now in P6 and is, well, at this rate, on track for a win. But the work gets harder as you move through the field, don't forget. But will now have his eyes set on the points. Now points leader. Let's take a look at that move because that was impressive again. Using the traffic to his advantage again. I think, yeah, found a gap on the inside that Brodie Maynard was maybe held up a little bit by the GT3s, and Max Meyer goes round the outside. And I'll tell you who else is closed up is Maximilian Meyer. Ayrton going defensive, goes all the way to the inside of the track to try and keep the... yeah, that'll be... I think Race Control will want to have a look at that, or Max Meyer will want Race Control to have a look at that as he runs into the back of Koikoven, mid-corner, and it's all tightened up in this GTP field now that they've really, really hit the big traffic.
It's very eager trying to get by.
Is Ruben going to go down the inside and try and help out his teammate in the title? He can't find a gap. And all the time, Leon is closing in on these two. Brodie's gone backwards on this race start, and Leon has gone forwards. It means they're only a couple of cars apart now. Yeah, turn 1 is probably the best overtaking opportunity, or in fact, up here, up the hill is a good opportunity as well. And he's going to try it down the inside. No, he's not, just trying to scare Ayrton off the road a little bit.
Scare, yeah, very common tactic, just showing your nose, just seeing what the driver does by just putting your nose
Oh, and he's down the inside!
Maybe he's going for the move.
And he's got to complete the move unless Ayrton can hang on around the outside. The outside line does become the inside again, and Ayrton slots briefly back ahead. Is he going to be able to stay ahead? It's really difficult. Who can lay the power down best through this final corner? And Ayrton comes right onto the curb to try and get ahead, and he is going to be ahead. Sebastian Van Hoovel gets a 10-second time penalty for a collision in turn 3. That's a lap 1 incident. But Maya now is going to have a tow all the way down the straight, and it's tightening up behind this battle as well. Down the inside, heavy on the brakes. Can he get the move done? Koikoven has to go off the road and sweeps back ahead of Maya, who's going to go down the inside again at turn 3, side by side on the exit. We've seen Maya do this one before, round the outside, because that inside line just doesn't have the grip, and he gets a move done, and Brody's going to try and take an opportunistic move of this, and Brody that has the inside line on Koikoven, who defended perhaps a little bit too hard against Maya, and has now lost another position on the road, and Ruben Stegemann is going to be next to have a go, surely here.
No, if it is a setup thing, or if it's something completely different.
Carlos Villarejo down the inside of Casper Hu.
Casper coming back.
Fighting back, yeah. He's going to get back down the inside, it looks like here.
Oh.
And just so in is that a cheese puff livery, McLaren?
Is that chicken nuggets?
Or chicken nuggets? Yeah, chicken nuggets. And it's ahead. And Albert Preem has just got past Ayrton Koikov, and this is how it happened. He threatened to do this a few laps ago, pulls out down the inside at the hairpin. Patient today from Albert Preem, but high percentage moves, gets ahead of the Cadillac driver, and will now chase after Brody Maynard for P4 overall. Already P4 in class, but we want to get past the AM driver, who's having an absolutely stellar day to try and win the championship.
If you don't have to wait for wet tires, and if you don't have to manage fuel in the second stint or the third stint.
Sorry to interrupt, Adrian. Racing out at the pit lane exit here, and it's side by side for the lead, and it has been for most of his lap in GT3 Pro. Alex Ott is trying to get by Vincenzo Soroche, and Jeffrey Ross is just waiting for this to go wrong behind. Inside line now for Vincenzo Soroche, but Alex Ott is going to pull ahead. Can he make it stick under braking? No, he can't, but he's got to switch back on the other Mustang car. 3 Mustangs all fighting for the lead here. Can Alex Ott hold it around the outside now and get his foot down nice and early? Remember, traction control and ABS in these cars, so it's all about picking the best line and using and you know, racing and choosing the best bit of track to be on. They're still side by side. They have been for most of this lap. And I tell you who's going to have a look into turn 1. Surely it's going to be Jeffrey Ross, because he's going to pick up a mega tow here when neither of these cars are. And Alex Ott is pulling ahead just ever so slightly, carrying more speed around the outside line in the final corner, but can't get it done on the brakes. So side by side, sweeps ahead, does he? He needs to get ahead by turn 2, otherwise down the inside it's going to be for Vincenzo Soroche in turn 3. Still side by side, they're losing time, hand over fist to the other cars around, and Jeffrey Ross is going to have a look here, as he knows he's not. Alex Ott on the inside line, pulls ahead nicely off the road for Vincent Ossoms. Vincenzo Soroche, sorry. And we are going to be 3 wide nearly down into the hairpin and back ahead for Vincenzo Soroche, but it's inside line for Alex Ott, who is going to be ahead now, surely, and is a full car ahead of Vincenzo Soroche. And now Jeffrey Ross having a look at Vincenzo Soroche side by side with the once race leader and the pole sitter, and he's got to try and follow his DLR teammate through, but can't get it done. It's Vincenzo Soroche down into P2, but keeps P2. Brody runs P2 a long way ahead of Leon. He can afford to lose a little bit of time. He doesn't need an overall podium today. He needs to finish ahead of Leon. That's the challenge for Brody, as it up on the jacks for Maynard.
Does he take tires?
Well, up on the jacks, you would assume so. The track is currently all getting rained on, but it's classified as mostly dry, we're told by race control, and it is the wet tyres.
Brody has wets?
For Brody, yeah. On the timing tower, you can see switch to the wet tyre for Brody Maynard.
I like the thinking, because if the tires start to overheat,
and he's going to be a little bit slow, isn't he? I think before he gets fully wet.
He's going to be a bit slow, yes.
But he's got time to burn. Remember, he was running P2 and his championship rival was down in P9. So he can go a little bit slower until this rain comes in, but he can play it carefully here. The rain has hit just after the halfway point in the season finale. We're going to get a cracking finish for this race. We've had some good proper racing at the start of the race, and now it's going to be a skill challenge on the rain.
The GT traffic playing into the hands of Brody here. Brody should have the speed. He should be more comfortable on the brakes going into one.
We've had a big moment. I think Ruben Stegemann is off the road.
Whoa.
Coy Coven's under investigation as well. This is what happened to Ayrton, who was already off the track there. This is the start of that incident, I think, with Ayrton, Sanchez and Caballero, and Ayrton loses out on the brakes, and wow, comes careering across the track, and that could have been an awful lot worse. This is what happened to Ruben Stegemann, who is going to lose it on the brakes as well, I would have thought, and his teammate running just behind. Remember, the championship leader going into today's race. And the championship leader will feel that there was an unsafe rejoin, I would have thought, in front of him there. And Ruben loses it on the brakes, and his teammate actually manages to stop through. Jean-Paul Seaman, the race leader, has also had a moment. Is it coming up over the hill, or is it going to be in the braking zone? It's going to be in the braking zone into the
has to be the
hairpin.
braking zone.
He still leads the race, said my timing tower. He's not lost much time, but just deep, but does the right thing, just lets it roll forwards and keeps it pointed in the right direction. And let's take a look at how Jeffrey Ross managed to get past Daniel Reneg. I believe Jeffrey Ross made the jump in the pit lane on Vincenzo Soroche. Yeah, Jeffrey Ross passing Vincenzo Soroche on pit lane exit, so pitting on different laps. The tyre choice making a difference in the fight in the lead as well, with Jeffrey Ross getting by on track. Brody Maynard runs P2 overall for Brody Maynard, who is having a mega race. He's P2 overall, P1 in class, 25 seconds ahead of Leon, the man he needs to finish ahead of on the road. Is Brody being off? Because Albert Preem is by Brody now. Brody's had a spin on the start-finish straight. The leader in GTP, Am, avoids the barrier narrowly, I believe. Let's take another look at it. It was very close.
He might have tapped the barrier a bit, but with that speed, I don't know. That's...
No meatball flag on that car, but I think Brody's off again further around the lap. I think something might be wrong with the rear suspension.
Might have, yeah, he might. No meatball, but there definitely might be something wrong with the back of that car.
Vincenzo Soroche is going to get past Alex Ott and move back up into P2 in this race, and finds a gap down the inside, aided a little bit by the GTP driver making the gap for him, but pulls ahead of Alex Ott and will now set off down the road after Jeffrey Ross. As Sanchez Cachapiero now clears Brody. We'll just give you an update on
that corner just to make it.
Brody Maynard off the road again. The Cadillac driver half spins.
Keeps it forward.
Everybody going extremely careful here. And what's happened to Brody? Because Brody now is only a few seconds, and Brody's had another moment because he's only 5 seconds ahead of Leon. What? Brody, get in and fix the damage. He needs to repair this car because it's not working right now. And look how bad the spray is, and there's just no grip. Down under the brakes. And look, just gets on that puddle, and there's just no grip on that puddle.
Gets on the puddle, gets on the curb, gets on that sausage, just everything you don't want to touch in the wet.
And Leon is now chasing him down. Brody needs to pit to fix that damage as soon as possible. Because he had the pace. Even in the wet, he had the pace before he had the spin.
He definitely has something. Like, even if it's not displaying it visually, he has
Leon had the half spin in the final corner.
Moments.
Yeah, it's tricky for all of our drivers out there. And Leon loose again on the exit. That's cost him a few seconds. Melvin Gatt, Casper Hu off the road, as is Fabio Gibrino, and as is the GTP around him. What happened with Melvin Gatt and Casper Hu?
so much happening.
Melvin Gatt. Casper Hu caught the curb on the inside, and that just sent the car wide. Moment for Leon, or is Leon to the pits? Leon with a meatball flag. What's happened to the championship leader?
Is he his front?
He's jumped to the pits. He's had to tow. It was in turn 1 or turn 2, turn 3. In that section, go straight on to turn 1. No brakes. No brakes. It's the barrier big, as did Daniel Renec. The grip disappearing in turn 1 all at once. I'm trying to find. This is Daniel Renec having a similar incident, but managing to get it slowed a little bit earlier.
It looked
And
like
Brody
Nick
nearly got
was
caught out
in
by
the
that as
wall.
well. Daniel Renette alongside Brody.
Nick was also on the wall. Yeah.
That's going to cost Leon the championship unless Brody has a moment now. Brody just needs to keep it on the road and ahead of Leon once Leon serves his penalty. But I think Brody is going to be a lap up on the field at this rate, because I'm looking at laps completed and it's 43 for Brody. Then the next driver in Leon, was on 43, but he will obviously stay on 43 for at least a lap. Then the next car after that is Carlos Ponce, who's on 42. So this is good news for Brody. He can play it very safe now till the end of the race. Maya to the pit lane, the first of the GTPs to make the final stop. No tyres, just fuel, and it's a 12 minute and 11 minute now sprint to the end for the race leader, the championship winner, the champion of the 9th season of ASR in GTP. Drops down to P3 on the road, but obviously has made his final pit stop when others have yet to do so.
We'll probably see it later in the Discord that it's like, oh, something like fell on my desk, or
Samir Rashad, Samir Rashad clobbers the wall, was running P2, remember, in this race, was running in the lead, but it's a net P2, and there's serious suspension damage on that car. He's been given the meatball flag, and I believe he's carried on. Did he change tyres in the stop, perhaps? See if we can get pit lane
7. That just, it feels more than that.
Down the inside
That's
to try and defend for Vincenzo Chiroce. But Jeffrey Ross is going to drive all the way around the outside. Casper Hu, we missed it. Casper Hu is passed for the lead in GT3 Pro. Gets round the outside in the Chicken Nuggets car. I think Amy's died. Oh, who knows? It's not really affecting the battle right now, because Leon is still about the same gap he was behind. And
Ross goes wide. Opens the door for Sriracha.
And there's a close battle in Am as well, and Ross still ahead, and is going to try and stay ahead with the inside line. And there's more contact between these two, really battling out for the final win of the season. We will be on the white flag lap, by the way, because we're at 1 minute 32. It's going to be checkered flag. Let's just see Max Meyer come to the line to win the final race of the season. Started last on the grid. Consistency and pace all day have been the key to the win, and Max Meyer will win for the final race of the season. I'm seeing Albert Preem has had a problem, so I'm not sure what's happened to Albert on the last lap. But Albert Preem has gone to not in world. What's happened to Albert Preem?
Gone.
Run out of fuel. Albert Preem trying to coast around the lap. He's in neutral. No fuel for Albert Preem at the end of the race.
Was that on the?
I think we went one lap more than Preem thought we would. Jeffrey Ross is going to lead and win the race. Melvin Gack is back ahead of Casper Hu. This is how it happened. On the throttle, just lays down the power to clear the McLaren and gets it done in the braking zone. Mega move.
Melvin Gack. That is going to be checkered for.
So Leon comes across the line, to take the checkered flag in second place. So Brody Maynard will be declared the champion now as he comes to the line. There's nothing else under investigation for either of these drivers, so it is going to be the race win and the championship for Brody Maynard. Despite a couple of spins and an extra trip to the pit lane, he's done enough to win the race in GTP Am. Jeffrey Ross came home to win the race, by the way, in GT3 Pro. So yeah, Brody Maynard will be GTP Am champion, as we already discussed a couple of times today. Maximilian Meyer will be GTP Pro champion. Vincenzo Chiroce will be GT3 Pro champion, and your GT3 Am champion will be the driver who was not here today. It was, of course, Senna Botkoven in the Corvette, who was not here today, but will win the championship anyway. And we'll try and get you some more full results if we can. Okay, everyone that joined us today and for the rest of the season, thank you very, very much. And all of the drivers that joined us for every race this season. It's been a brilliant, brilliant competition. And we will see you in season 10.